Hello, everyone. I'm Chris Gore from Film Threat. I survived Comic-Con. I am just today getting my voice back. Can you all hear me? Can you hear me, Alan? Alan, can you hear me? Give me a thumbs up, Alan. Give me a thumbs up. Okay, good. I survived San Diego Comic-Con 2022. A lot to discuss about Comic-Con. So many things to react to talk about. I want to know if you were there. Hail to the chat. Hope you're having a great day. Let's kick things off and get things started. It's our Wednesday live stream for Hollywood on the Rocks, and I'm happy that you're here to spend your afternoon with us. Let's go. I'm Chris Gore from Film Threat. I am joined by Alan Ng, the editor-in-chief of FilmThreat.com. Alan, how's it going today?
I'm still recovering from San Diego Comic-Con. I went an extra day that I wasn't expecting.
We've both been saying that it's just sort of like it's kind of crazy, like that. It was nuts. I didn't expect it to be this big out of the gate.
Yeah.
So maybe we should get right to it. You know what's so funny? I forgot I wanted to bring this to wear a mask at Comic-Con. I could have worn this mask at Comic-Con. So if anybody asked me, or came up to me and said, "Hey, how come you're not wearing a mask?" I could have worn this mask. I kind of blew it. But what can I say? Lots to get into here. Before we get started, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. Click that bell for notifications. We go live twice a week. We have some special programming coming up in August. I think you're going to want to know about. I think you're going to want to be a part of Critics Cork. And also, if you'd like to support the channel, we have memberships. And if you were watching over the weekend, I posted a bunch of exclusive members videos of stuff happening outside the con and stuff from parties. So join our memberships. You're going to get a lot of exclusive content and upcoming exclusive members only streams, a lot of cool stuff and offers. So and then also go to shop.filmthreat.com. These are ways you can support the channel. Let's see who's here today as we get things going. All right. Brock Campbell is a new member. Thank you for that, Brock. That is awesome. Retro Nerd Girl, how's it going? Hey, Tucker Time is here. My friend Jeff Tucker, Comic-Con 2022, Son of the Mask 2. There you go. Who else? Bill Barclay says, I saw the Quantum Leap reboot teaser. It doesn't look very good. There's a lot of stuff that doesn't look good. And then there were some surprises. Montarock says, hail Chris Gore. Hey, you threaders, says CD Stein 69. Thank you for that. Hey, Director Mink, how's it going? Owe you a chat. We need to talk soon, says Gore. Bill Barclay says, cool. Omar 94 says, props to you, Chris, and really anyone for going to Comic-Con. I get too claustrophobic in really crowded places and couldn't handle it.
This year wasn't as bad as past years, but it was crowded. It
wasn't as bad. Having said that, I can't be in that hall more than 3 hours in the merch hall. Yeah. More than 3 hours, and I I can't do it. That's just me personally. Shelby AC says, hey, chat. Talking to people here. Turo says, Alan Ng and Film Threat, the joining. And Shucksy is a new member, became a member. Thank you, Shucksy. Check out there's already a bunch of members only videos that you can see that I shot over the weekend at San Diego. I would have uploaded them sooner, but there was no internet in San Diego. So we're going to get into it in just a second. Turo says, no laughing, Alan. Any news about Baby Assassin's sequel? We not only, okay, we'll talk about Baby Assassins, but we're going to have a Baby Assassins giveaway later in the show. We have Blu-rays. Alan, do you have the Blu-ray?
Two Blu-rays.
Show them. Let's see a close-up of those.
Yeah. So there we go.
All right. You can win.
There we go.
Alan has 2 Baby Assassin Blu-rays to give away. We're going to give them away before the end of the show. We also have some other giveaways coming up.
Yeah, but regarding this, you must be a U.S. resident. I cannot ship this overseas. And then also, wait till the last half hour. We'll have all the entry information. At that point, you'll be entering through the chat. We have a whole system for this. So
cool. We have a system.
We have a system.
All right. Well, let's see who else is here. We don't have, unfortunately, Flaccid Phoenix is not with us today. He is traveling. He is our producer. We are Sans producer. Flaccid Phoenix, we need you. Fly back soon on your wings. Get back home and help us. But El Mission says, Baby Assassins Blu-ray. Yes, it's here. All Twisted Up says, alas, although I was at San Diego Comic-Con, I couldn't make it to the screening or party and still haven't gotten my red DVD signed. Curses. I know who you are. We met at Star Wars Celebration. I'm going to be at LA Comic-Con in December. That's a little far off. But if you want to meet up at LA Comic-Con in December, I will be there. In fact, we'll probably have a Film Threat. We'll have a booth along with Attack of the Doc. Let's talk about the screening and the party and all that. So we did a screening of Attack of the Doc. It went incredibly well. The only thing I'd have to complain about is the Landmark Cinemas stopped serving beer like a half hour into the screening. I went to go grab it. I've seen the movie. So I went to go grab another drink and they were closed. The other thing, it was great. It was great. The feedback that we got, I mean, the current cut is about just under 90 minutes. We're looking to kind of tighten and make the best documentary possible, Attack of the Doc, right? And what was a little frustrating was they scheduled the Attack of the Show panel at exactly the same time at the convention center. Having said that, somebody told me someone who works on Attack of the Show came to the screening. They didn't identify themselves. I don't know. I just found this out literally like 20 minutes ago. So that was interesting, but it went great. I want to thank everybody who showed up. There was we had a little after screening meetup with Nerdrotic, Gary Beekler and Garrett from Quarter Black Garrett. Shout out to them and I want to thank them for their support. I got to hang out with them over the weekend. I got to meet Mrs. Nerdrotic and we hung out. And we had drinks at the Hard Rock. It was a blast. We were kind of like people watching all the great cosplay. If you look at my personal Instagram or Twitter feed at that Chris Gore, or some of them, I posted some pictures in the members only section of the Film Threat YouTube channel. You'll see some of the photos but that was the fun part. That was Thursday night. We got that right out of the way. Let's talk about the bad part. The wearing the masks thing, I'm not in favor of. So I know, look, I don't want to get however you stand. And look, I don't mask shame. Mm-hmm. If you have a comorbidity or you have a pre-existing condition, wear a mask absolutely so that you feel safe. Having said that, I believe in bodily autonomy, and I think you should be able to make your own decisions for yourself. And I'm personally not a mask fan. Now, if I got to go do something, I got to wear a mask at Trader Joe's for 15 minutes while I go and get groceries, while all of the staff is masked up in solidarity with those workers at Trader Joe's, probably the best grocery store chain in Southern California. I'll wear a mask. I wore a specific type of mask that allows me to breathe a little better. And I wore that. And sometimes I didn't wear it. I forgot. And nobody seemed to bother me, but 99.9% of everyone at San Diego Comic-Con was masked. And I think it dramatically hurt the experience, not only in the the rooms that had the panels, but also all over the floor. I couldn't stay in there for more than a few hours. I work at home, so I don't really wear a mask normally anyways. And the thing that I found was, because it was like kind of hot, and after a while you'd kind of be carrying, the inside of my mask got, without elaborating, it got gross. Alan, what was your experience? I want to talk about that part.
Yeah.
We're gonna get to Marvel. We're gonna get to DC. We're gonna get to other announcements you may not have heard. But what did you think of the overall experience of San Diego Comic-Con?
Yeah, regarding masks, I think the issue I had was just because of the distance we were walking, just back and forth, and then to panels and in lines, and it just, I guess, was more of an annoyance than anything. And I will say, without exception, everyone who was on a panel up on stage, as with a mic in front of their face, was not wearing a mask. So I'm kind of glad we kind of set that off. We were one of the first panels to start the week, and they had asked us to put masks on, and Chris was very bold in saying, no, we're not doing that. And so that was fine. But in terms of the experience itself, this was it was kind of a special one for me. One is, this is kind of my first time my daughter was really into it, and so much so that I wasn't planning on going there on Sunday, and she wanted to come back real bad, and we did. And she met one of her heroes on Saturday. We got a picture with him, and and so I'm kind of, we're sharing in that Comic-Con experience.
Alan, just a minute. I'm sorry, I had to leave the room for a second to grab something, and as I walked in, I heard the words, "This is the first time my daughter was really into it."
Yeah.
What were you talking about?
Oh, just Comic-Con in general.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, we were doing.
Glad to hear that.
Yeah, like I took her when she was 4, and it was too much for her then.
Yeah.
And then there's this really great My Little Pony story that's very long, and I won't get into it. And this time it was like she had a purpose. She had, she's not taken on any of my fandoms. She's developed her own and found them at Comic-Con. And, she wants to get into cosplay. So we were doing a lot of that. So a lot of my time, I didn't buy anything for myself. Most of the money was spent, her spending her allowance or whatever cash she had. And so, it's like, all right, this is the father-daughter bonding moment I've been waiting for all my life. And it finally showed up. Well,
it was fun. If you want to go back, just to let people know, we did some impromptu live streams. We did one on Saturday and one on Sunday. On Friday, I was actually having breakfast at my hotel, which I stayed at the Indigo. I'd never stayed at the Indigo before. Had a quick breakfast there. I was super hungover from Thursday night because because of the screening and the party, drank a lot. And then I just walked over to the convention center. So if you watch our Friday live stream last week, you'll see me going through the hall. It was like a 3-hour stream. And then we did sort of impromptu streams on Saturday and Sunday. It's literally just Alan and I walking around showing you stuff. But I will say a couple of questions here in the chat. Darth John says, it was a blast. It was. I think we all drank a bit too much. And someone asks here, All Twisted Up says, will there be loads of extras on Attack of the Dock eventual Blu-ray release? I can say that there will be. In fact, I have. This is our prototype cover for Attack of the Dock.
Oh, wow.
Is already here. There are going to be a ton. This is our prototype back. There's going to be a lot of extras, deleted scenes, a lot of stuff that we're cutting, probably 30 minutes plus of deleted scenes, unedited interviews with people who were interviewed for the documentary. In addition, a couple of interesting Easter eggs. Geek Truth 64, I'm answering your question. This should be out in December. So, because we're still looking to lock picture, but yeah. And then I want to give people sort of what my masks look like. If you can put me full screen for a second. This was what my mask looks like. Oops. Just so you know. So this is my mask.
I feel safe you wearing that.
On my face looks pretty looks pretty solid, right? But I also had another one right here that you could get. This one was not quite as legit. Oh my God.
I've seen you wear that before, and it is the creepiest thing.
It's like I'm wearing a pair of panties. Anyways, but there we are. That aspect was not great. And I looked for the one thing I don't need, but must have. Alan, you don't need to keep me full screen here, but I'll show you what I bought. I'll show you what I got. Can I show you? I'll be right back. I got one little thing, and it's very little. So
yeah, there was at one point during Saturday's stream where Chris was talking to Charles Band over at Full Moon, and I was trying to rush over to Troma because Lloyd Kaufman was there, and unfortunately he was gone at that point.
Okay, this is something I had to get this. So check it out. It's Stan Lee. Can you see this? Can you put me full screen for a sec? It's Stan Lee micro figures. Is literally a tiny action figure of Stan Lee.
Looks like Wolverine for some reason.
I got this at a buddy of mine's party, and that was cool. And then we went to the Burton Bash. That was great. So this is sort of like, I like to have stuff that, like, first of all, this doesn't take up a lot of space, and I love Stan Lee. So there you go. Let's get into some of the. I like to because I like to look at Alan while we're doing.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. Let's get into the things that were announced. And right off the bat, we need to talk about Marvel. So let's talk about Marvel's Phase 5 and 6. Still no announcement of Fantastic Four, folks.
Did they? I didn't see the full thing, but I believe
no. They announced that Fantastic Four is coming.
Yeah, that it would kick off Phase 6.
It would kick off Phase 6, but and I believe that is the. Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe, and you can bring up a graphic of this, Alan.
Yeah,
of the phases.
Yeah, I'll pull it up.
It wasn't on there, but the rumored date is November 2024 for the Fantastic Four. November. So let's kick things off and talk about Phase 5 and 6. Let's start with them in order. Why don't you put up that graphic so we can go through them?
Did you put one in here already?
No, you can just find one on the internet.
Yeah, I'm trying to find one that's
graphic. Oh my God. Have you heard of Google Images?
Yeah. You know what? Fans love to make their own images, and if I pull one of the fan ones up, I'll never.
Well, while we're waiting for Alan to do that, I know what you all want. And for those of you who drove down to San Diego, I'm fairly certain this is what you saw. You saw what I saw.
You can't really get much more bootleg than that.
Everything I see reminds me of her. We're on our way to Comic-Con. Let's go. I make a video of that every year because it's just tradition. It's tradition to do that. But I want to talk about. Let's go through some of these. I was not in Hall H. I did talk to people who were at Hall H and saw the videos that were not released publicly. Starting in order, because is it Black Panther, Wakanda Forever ends Phase 4?
Okay, so Black Panther and She-Hulk end Phase 4.
Right.
And here's the big question. So define Phase 4. What was Phase?
Here's what Phase 4 was about. It was about endings and beginnings. Phase 4 was about sunsetting the most popular characters in the Marvel Cinematic Universe and bringing up less popular characters and giving them center stage. And I think that they're going to look back on that as a huge mistake. So there you go. Wakanda Forever, I saw the trailer. It's very emotional. And I think they're going to look back as a huge mistake to not have recast T'Challa. From what it seems, and I could be wrong, looking at the trailer, it looks like T'Challa dies in Wakanda Forever. And Shuri takes the mantle of the Black Panther. So keeping in theme with all the new Marvel stuff, it's just, which I think is super lazy, if you ask me, is just get rid of that old character. I think it's going to be looked on as a mistake. First of all, not to diminish, like Chadwick Boseman, he made that character in 4 movies. Yeah. He defined this character. And, like no one is going to do what Chadwick Boseman did with Black Panther. You can't do that. Having said that, I think T'Challa to young boys is an incredibly important character. Incredibly important. His whole take on it, very regal, very calm, like the calm leader, and the badass, kind of suave, almost like James Bondish in certain scenes, like in the original Black Panther. I think that the CG in that movie gets a little cartoony and over the top and kind of ridiculous at points. Not the best, but that character is incredibly important to young boys. And I feel like young boys are going to this is going to be devastating. You don't kill Spider-Man. You don't kill. I mean, they have.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this before, but they didn't kill Black Panther. He died, and again, you could replace him. But I'm saying, I think replacing would have been not only horrible for the franchise, but horrible for the actor who has to replace Chadwick Boseman.
I disagree.
And we may deify Chadwick a bit, but I think of the actors who, of these actors, you compare the way Chadwick, conducted himself as an actor and as a superhero, compare that to Brie Larson. There's a huge difference there. And for some, Chadwick is just one of these actors that I feel like you just couldn't replace. And if you did, you wait 8 to 10 years and just start it all over again.
Disagree. I think that, first of all, no argument. You can't replace Chadwick Boseman. You cannot replace him. His charisma. He is literally the anti Brie Larson. Brie Larson, who I think is, her casting is one of the worst in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah, and you could replace her. And no one would care.
No one would care because, I always thought that someone like Ronda Rousey should have played Captain Marvel because she would have been believably strong, right? Just, or, someone like a Gina Carano, right? Like, I don't know that Gina Carano is necessarily right, but Ronda Rousey for sure, or someone just believably strong, or an actress who has some gravitas, or Anya Taylor-Joy, I think would have been a great choice. I think Brie Larson is just incredibly unlikable, unlikable in that role and her take on it, which is just sort of a.
And I think also her things she had done in public kind of soured it versus Chadwick, who pretty much presented himself as the actors. He's kind of like Denzel Washington in the sense of he garners respect as a person and as an artist.
Having said that, okay, all of that, and I don't disagree with what you're saying about, Chadwick and his portrayal of T'Challa. It means something to young boys. Let's go through this for a second. How many people have played Spider-Man? Well, if you're counting, I mean, in Spider-Man No Way Home, there were 4 people who played Spider-Man who were in that Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
A lot of people didn't recognize in the final scene with MJ, Nicholas Hammond, who played Spider-Man in the original television show from the 70s that I watched when I was a kid.
No, I thought too.
Nicholas Hammond was there. The only reason I recognize him because Nicholas Hammond also played the director in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. He has that scene with Leonardo DiCaprio. He's the director. That's Nicholas Hammond. So there are 4. So 4 people have played Spider-Man, right? How many people have played Batman? Right? Going back to Adam West. How many people have played James Bond? These are important, iconic characters. There are no shortage of amazing Black male actors. No shortage in Hollywood. None whatsoever. There may be a glut of really good Black male actors of the correct age that could have played Black Panther. Because I feel that character is important, and it's important to young boys, and you don't kill them off. And I feel like there's a reason that recast T'Challa trends every once in a while. It trends because people know that character is important. How would I feel as a kid if I was a kid? I'm 11, 12, whatever. I love Black Panther. and I go see, and or even they kill Spider-Man, and they just kill Spider-Man. I think this is going to be looked on as a huge mistake. I think they were overreacting to the death of Chadwick Boseman. I can understand why they made the decision. I think it is the wrong decision. I think I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it at all. Yeah. Now, I don't know what people think in the chat. I think we should go to the chat about this. This is gonna get long if we're arguing about this stuff, Alan.
I know. Because because we argued about this a few weeks ago, and I don't think our positions have changed at all.
No. I believe strongly that they should have recast. Look, they could have Denzel Washington's son. He was in Tenet. Like, why am I forgetting his name? John David Washington.
Yeah, John.
Yeah. He's great. He's great. He's got, to me, Black Klansman, freaking phenomenal in that movie. Plays a cop. He's awesome. He's so good. He plays a cop infiltrating the KKK. It's funny and tragic at the same time. But look, I feel like there's so many great people that they could have recast and done a different take. It would not have been Chadwick Boseman's his take on it. What I love about what Chadwick Boseman did is he had that accent. It was he created this sort of Wakandan accent that really made you, and also this sort of regal nature, in his daily life. Yes, he's also a king, but he's this hero. And I feel like Black Panther should have been a trilogy with that character, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they blew it. They blew it. I got to go to the chat, and I'm really curious, Alan, if you could help me out because we don't have Flaccid.
Yeah, I've starred a whole bunch of them. So,
okay, cool. Could you unstar them as I go through them? I start from the top. My apologies. We are Sans producer today. We're gonna do the best we can, folks.
And by the way, we do have super chats and new members. So
this is great. So we have like almost 400 people watching. So please slap that like button. Slap the like button like Alan likes to dance at a Vegas dance party. All right, let's get to these comments here. Wait, why are you're putting up?
We're at 46.4 thousand subscribers.
Okay, cool. So, All right, well, we're working our way up to 50,000, but let's get to your comments today, folks. And thank you for your patience as we don't have our producer helping out today. So it's Alan and I running the ship, and neither of us is particularly qualified here. Tiberius Gracchus says, film throw. Phew! Made it. Thought I was going to miss you guys. You made my day so far. Well, thank you for that. You made our day by being here. Cameron Montijo, Kang Dynasty sounds like a Chinese restaurant at your local mall food court. Alan,
I've been there.
You've been to Kang's?
Yeah, Kang's Dynasty.
All right. Well,
yeah, Oriental food.
There you go. Chris, did you meet Todd McFarlane says MK Solid 82? I did not. Dom Toko has become a member. Thank you, Dom. Check out the members only content. We'll be posting a lot of weird stuff. I promise you. Mike Waite for 5 says, thank you very much for your insight at Comic-Con. Had a great time watching you going to the different booths. Keep up the great work, Mike. Thank you, Mike Waite. Appreciate that. CD Stein 69 says, it's so weird to see all the masks during SDCC. Went to a Greta Van Fleet concert Monday night in Peoria. There were only about 5 out of the whole crowd wearing them. Yeah, it felt weird. I feel like they should have made it a choice. I went to Star Wars Celebration. 80% of the people had no masks on. Only 20% wore masks, and that is totally fine. I also went to some parties over the weekend. During San Diego Comic-Con, I went to the Burton Bash put on by my buddy Bernie Bregman. Talked to a lot of people there. I'd say like maybe 10% of the people there had masks on. Totally fine. Totally fine. In fact, I ran into Anna, that Star Wars girl. I was on a couple of her live streams. Was it 1 or 2? Anyways, Anna's great. And Anna, that Star Wars girl, seemed maskless the whole time. She had her stream going, says Tyler Shelton. Yeah, she did. My concern is I don't want to be bothered. I'm trying to do the stream. I don't want the attention on me. So I wore one of my masks. I wore one of my like these sort of thin. They're I don't want to say where I got them, but if you message me,
but the point is why? Well, yeah. What was the point of wearing that mask? Because it's
no, it was just to like. It's like, why do I wear pants in public?
Right.
I don't wear them at home for the most part. If I'm at home, I'm wearing shorts.
Or if you're doing a live stream, yeah.
Doing a live stream, I am in like basketball shorts right now. What can I say? And I also don't play basketball. Says Tyler Shelton. So thank you for that. Sean Zamir, $1.99. Sorry I'm late, guys. No, you're here. I always stall at the beginning just a little bit to make sure people can join. Sean Zamir for $9.99 says, Alan, I'm glad that you and your daughter had a great time. Chris, I hope you had a great time. I did. Thank you for asking. But Alan, do you think your daughter is at that age where she can finally understand why you love it so much?
Yeah. I love the fact that you spelled my name 2 different ways, just so you got it right. One way there. But yeah, that's been the struggle. But the thing is, as a child, she was always into her things and became fans of those. I mean, she was the biggest fan of My Little Pony for the longest time. She was a big fan of Superhero Squad too. So that's where she got a lot of her Marvel knowledge. And there are things that I'm trying to get her into. I'm trying to nail down a date to watch Indiana Jones with her. The Star Wars, forget about it. She saw Phantom Menace, and that was the only one she liked. And
well, Alan, you should wait. Raiders of the Lost Ark kind of on the regular turns up at retrospective screenings, especially at the Frida Cinema. And just a quick plug, Frida Cinema, we're going to be doing monthly Film Threat sponsored screenings there. And I think that's gonna be a lot of fun. So Shucksy for 5 says, Chris, I finally saw RRR earlier this week and it was amazing. The 2 main characters were just so darn lovable. Thanks for the recommendation. Thank you, Shucksy. More and more people are starting to see RRR.
It's their brotherhood, their bond of brotherhood that I liked about it.
Male friendship. Let's do male friend. How about male friendship in a movie with no gay subtext? I wonder if Hollywood could make that. Yeah. I don't know that.
Which reminds me of League of Pets.
Super Pets. So, quick story, and this is for people that are in our members only. I met BJ Novak last night. BJ, by the way, stands for Benjamin Jacob. BJ Novak, of course, from The Office. He was a writer, also on camera. He's one of the characters on The Office. Has a movie coming out on Friday that Alan and I are going to review called Vengeance. I'll just say it's very good. I had a whole conversation with BJ, and he asked me because he knows Film Threat. It was really weird conversation. Wow. BJ's like, "Oh, Chris Gore from Film Threat. Like, I know Film Threat." And he's like, "So what have you seen?" So because he knows that we review obscure indie movies, he says, "So what have you seen lately that is really good?" And I had a whole conversation with him about RRR. Don't laugh. Don't laugh. Okay.
Well, we have on film that you talked to Homer Simpson's about RRR.
I did talk to Homer Simpson. I'll post in the members only. I'm going to post the video and a picture of BJ and I having this conversation. But I talked to him about, and we'll talk about Vengeance on Friday. I can't wait. On Friday, we're going to talk about The Legend of the Super Pets, which I can't wait because I know something. We'll talk about Vengeance and a couple of other small indie movies.
I know everything about it.
Well, there you go. Yeah. Let's see. So thank you for that, Shucksy. Retro Nerd Girl. Hey, good to have you here. I have allergies to everything, so masks are amazing for me. But if you don't have to, don't bother. First of all, yes, Retro Nerd Girl, I have allergies, and I have allergies especially to dust. If I get dust, I've got to use a neti pot. You don't even want to know what that is. Anyways, it's not a big deal. You just put water up your nose, saline sleep.
It's just the thought of it that
yes, it's gross. So I whenever I deal with like doing lawn work or outside, I wear a mask. I just don't think it should be mandated. I think we should have the freedom to choose. And there you are. Tiberius Gracchus II says masks just tell the masses and the elite who does what they're told and who will not. And SMH. What does SMH mean? Let's have Alan look it up. Tucker Time, crotchless mask. Sean Zamir for $4.99. How can I get one here in Houston? I'd love to make a video on it. You're saying a mask? Just Google fake mask. Just, you might find it. I bought a stack of DVDs, says Tucker Time. Phil, if the FF isn't a period film like Captain America, The First Avenger, I'm not interested. The FF belongs in the 60s time setting, then introduce time travel later. We're going to get through these. Oh, man, there's a lot.
By the way, shaking my head. That's what it means.
Shaking my head. Okay. I'm so sorry. I'm just going to do the super chats and the members here, and then we're going to want to get back to our conversation about Marvel here. Luther Talbert became a YouTube member. Thank you for that. Ken Bogus for 5. After that awful Thor movie, I need a Marvel vacation. I'm back for Loki season 2, then drop vacation until an Avengers film. I think that that's what I'm feeling. I want to go through all of these, but I will say I just have Marvel fatigue. I feel like by adding the Disney Plus series, it diluted what makes Marvel special. It means that there's never not something Marvel on or coming in the next month or two. It's too much. I remember years where there'd be like 1 or 2 Marvel movies, and a good year was when 3 Marvel movies opened in the same year. That was considered a good year. Now there's a Marvel movie, then there's a Disney Plus, and a Marvel and a Disney Plus. It's diluting the audience interests. It makes Marvel less special, and we're going to go through each one of these after I get through our.
Let me just disagree with that for a second. It's not that there's too much. It's that it's mediocre. You know, if all of this stuff was great, we would drink it in like water.
Well,
but the problem is
right
that they're spreading themselves out too thin. You know, you could spend, when you only have 2 movies a year, you could spend a lot of time and effort into producing a great product, and they're just not able to do that.
Well, the Bad Bandito became a member. Thank you for that. That's awesome. CD Stein 69 for $4.99 says, yeah, it's been confirmed that T'Challa dies. I completely agree. They should have recast. Seems like Phase 5 is more MCU. Well, first of all, the MCU thing is pretty obvious by now. I mean, you could just see side by side.
Yeah. Just look at the
She-Hulk, Hawkeye, female Hawkeye, Thor, female Thor. It's not I don't know, but yeah, I think it's this is a terrible decision. And while there are great supporting characters in the Black Panther universe, they're really good supporting characters. That was one of the things that really stood out about Black Panther. He was kind of like the least interesting character in Black Panther was Black Panther when you saw the world of Wakanda, right? But you still got to ground it. And I think they should have recast T'Challa. I think it's too late. I think that they overreacted to his death. And look, someone here, Paul, says Wakanda Forever trailer is exploiting Chadwick's death. Chadwick's death. Boswick. He says Boswick. I know what you meant. I know what you meant. Chadwick's death, in my opinion. They should have just recast him and told a good story. Instead, it feels like a tribute film. Yeah, they even could have done a little like mini documentary or something, or like something about Chadwick Boseman's life. Yeah, Terrence Howard could play back Black Panther if the math is correct, says David Markham. Yes, I feel like this has been a mistake. This has been a huge mistake. And Sean Zamir says you have to bring back Killmonger. Yep, for $1.99. Thank you. The other thing is we had some super chats that came in during the weekend while Alan and I were live streaming. We couldn't see them because we were on our phones. We're going to get to all of those. We'll definitely do a make good on those. Deadline 247 became a new member. Ah, awesome. And yes, Sean Zamir, if I know what you're asking, you can get these. They're great. And that's pretty much all I've been wearing. How did I find out about that? It seems like every bartender in LA is wearing these because 1, they need to be at work and breathe. 2, they need to be able to speak clearly in a loud bar without raising their voice constantly. And so there you go. Let's get back to phase 5 and 6 here. So Wakanda Forever, just I feel like it's also going to make $1 billion. It's going to make more than Thor. I feel like the audience is going to support that film. It's going to be huge. But I feel in the end will be a mistake. And look, Eric Jimenez agrees with me. John David Washington would have made a great Black Panther. I just think the character, look, I just think that there are young boys who look up to Black Panther as a character that are, by killing that character off, I think it's going to be more traumatic than you could imagine. When George Lucas was coming up with the story for The Empire Strikes Back, he consulted a child psychologist regarding Darth Vader being revealed, the main villain of Star Wars being revealed to be the father of the hero Luke Skywalker. That's how seriously he took it. I think this is a mistake. And I think it's a huge mistake, and I think it's going to have a very negative effect on. It's like killing Spider-Man, and it's not like you're killing, like, are you killing Superman? Then we know you're going to bring him back in another movie, because we know Henry Cavill's in the next movie. So is this sort of a long game to recast? So maybe they do end up recasting T'Challa, and T'Challa is born again as a different actor at the end of Wakanda Forever. Maybe that's it. I don't know, but yeah, Eric, you and I agree. And on point with this, Foozy, Leftist Hollywood hates young boys today. That is a fact. There's literally no content being made for young boys when it comes to mainstream Hollywood movies. Where are their heroes? And I think about this, my son is grown and gone and out in the world, but where are the heroes for young boys? And if you look, what's odd at the box office, top movie, Spider-Man No Way Home in the last year.
Oops.
Spider-Man No Way Home, Top Gun Maverick. Let's go on. What are the top movies? Male leads being heroes.
And testosterone-driven storylines.
Yeah. Look, RRR is that.
Yeah.
I mean, even though I think RRR is violent, so I think you may, if you have a young son, I'm thinking like maybe, what would you think, Alan? Like 12, 13 and up? 13 and up? It's
for
a little,
RRR?
Yeah.
That's rated R. That's definitely
you think it's rated R?
Yeah.
I don't know. But the violence is kind of over the top and cartoonish.
Yeah, but it's very violent. I mean, lots of blood.
Lots of guns.
Yeah, lots of guns.
Look, I think it depends.
But, I mean, it's not a negative thing. Make a rated R movie,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Lightyear should have been the boys' movie. And they took a single moment in Lightyear trying to bring in an audience that never showed up.
Right.
But for all intended purpose, Lightyear is a boys' movie. And
I can't wait to talk about it on Friday. DC Legends of the Super Pets. There's a scene with two moms.
Yep.
Let's do an article on Film Thread of the top 10 animated movies featuring two moms.
Yeah. I mean, let's clarify it though. It's a brief scene. It's like the two moms in Toy Story 4. But it's called out and it's there. And it's there for all the virtuous to see.
We're going to talk about it on Friday, but I can't wait to never see that movie. I'm telling you now, I can't wait to never ever see DC's Legends of the Super Pets.
It's a very mediocre rock movie.
Don't save it for Friday, Alan.
All right, that's all I'm saying.
Eric July as Black Panther. Yes, he would be great. John David Washington. Yes, Eric, you and I are in complete agreement. Let's get back to this. But Wakanda Forever, it's going to make a ton of money. Mistake, recast T'Challa. Now let's get into this. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Do I care? I don't know. Yeah. I like Peyton Reed as a director. Paul Rudd is just incredibly likable. That one does interest me, but it's another case of, what do they call her? Ant Girl. His daughter now is in the movie.
Yeah.
Is she Ant Girl?
She is Ant. Well, she does have the suit. It's confirmed that she has the suit, and she falls into the quantum realm, and her dad and Hope have to go rescue her. That's the basic start of the story. And
we're gonna see Kang the Conqueror.
Yes.
Do we care? Alan?
You know, in terms of completing the series, yeah, I care. You know, I saw the first two. You know, I don't think this was meant to be that grand Marvel story, and I don't think there's any intention that it was supposed to be that. It's Paul Rudd, you know, it's tiny Ant-Man. So you know, I enjoyed the first two, and I suppose I'll enjoy this one as well. But in the grand scale of things, you know, this Ant-Man has always been a small part of the Marvel universe, literally.
Let me go through these really quick with you.
Yeah.
Secret Invasion is a Disney Plus show. Don't care.
Yes.
Echo is a Disney Plus show.
Yep.
Don't care. Loki season 2 is a Disney Plus show. Don't care. Ironheart is a Disney Plus show. Don't care. Agatha is a Disney Plus show. Don't care. Daredevil is a Disney Plus show. Can't wait for that.
18 episodes.
18 episodes. And I do believe and I'm reading into this, folks, I have no inside info. I'm reading into it. It says Daredevil Born Again. My guess is, please look this up, Alan, so you can show pictures of it. It's based on the Frank Miller run. This is a guess because of the title Born Again. Okay. There was a run of Daredevil comics that Frank Miller wrote that is, what happens is, like, an ex-girlfriend of Matt Murdock, who becomes a heroin addict, reveals the identity of Daredevil to the Kingpin in this comic. She's strung out on heroin. She reveals the identity that Daredevil is Matt Murdock, and then Kingpin destroys his life, literally, like, blows up the building where he lives. Like, just, it's this whole arc that, look up Frank Miller Daredevil run, look it up, see if you could put up one of the comics.
Okay.
I used to own them and I sold them. I've sold so many comics that I regret, but my guess is that it's based on that arc. Yeah. It's, and look, is that Frank Miller? Yeah. David Mazzucchelli did the artwork. That is one of the coolest runs of Daredevil stories. It's a long arc. And my guess is that because it's one of the most iconic stories about Daredevil ever, because of the story Born Again, my feeling is it's based on that. So yeah, I really hope it is. I will say this, if they do this and if they do it right, it's going to be hard R rated. This will be hard R, because the stuff that happens in, I mean, people die, there's drug addiction. Kingpin is just a straight up murderer. It's an amazing, amazing run of the comic. It's one of the most, if you ask people what's their favorite Daredevil comic, they'll mention stories here and there, but like, this is just one of the, like, but Frank Miller, when he touches anything, in my opinion, it just turns to gold. Yeah. Neil, Frank Miller made Daredevil.
I had that Daredevil versus Hulk issue. And of course I sold it.
Right. And before we move on, I'm going to talk about some of these other movies and my takes on what I've seen and what I know. I want to get to your chats here. So let's go through real quick. Luther Talbert for 5 says, just saw The Black Phone. Incredible movie. You were right about the kids crying. Very real. Alan was right. Sean Zamir for $1.99. Hit that like button. Slap it. You know what? Slap the subscribe button just like this.
Oh, wow.
It's just, you got to do it. You got to do it. And then Sean Zamir says, I meant the doc. Laugh my ass off. Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Sean, yeah, I'll let you know when you'll be able to buy it. It's going to be December. We're going to be doing like a sort of like you can pre-order and then boom, we're going to ship them out so you get it before the holidays. Richard spent $5 to disagree with Alan. I disagree with Alan on the Marvel movies. There used to be an event to see in a theater. Now there's so much, I just wait for Disney Plus. Yeah, Richard. And also there's that 45-day window. So they've made it less special. So now these movies just come to Disney Plus.
See,
right?
I just can't believe people would say, if Marvel was putting out great work and great content, that we would say, oh, I'm so tired of all this great stuff coming out of it. I think we're fatigued because it's been less than great. You know, you could claim it's good, but still, good is not good enough. It needs to be great, and we will take great every day, every week, every month.
Going on with some other comments here. Sahil says, we moved on from Christopher Reeve, Tobey Maguire, Heath Ledger's. No actor is bigger than the role. That's what I'm saying.
I'm just saying, if Christopher Reeve had gotten into his accident during a Superman run, this might be a whole different conversation.
Right, but what I'm telling you is, maybe there needs to be a window of time. There needs to be time for healing.
Yeah,
At the same time, those characters matter. There's a reason Batman has endured for 80 years, right? Or Superman.
But that's my point. There should have been time, as opposed to just recasting. Just replace Chadwick Boseman. I would have much rather preferred waiting 5 years before another Black Panther story comes out.
And here we go. Borg Porg for 2 says, John Boyega would have been great as T'Challa. Agree. I agree. Shung Hu for 742 says, I 100% agree with Alan. It's not superhero fatigue. It's rotten movie fatigue. Agree. Brad Sparks for 499. Hail, Chris and Alan. Hope you guys didn't get the con crud. Thanks for the recommendation. #alive. Watch it with my daughter and we loved it. It's a great movie. But I didn't get con crud. I was just like Monday, I physically couldn't speak. And that happened to me on, like, if you heard me over the weekend when I was doing live streams, I was just like struggling to talk. I get con voice because I just I'm so excited to see people that I just talk too much and talk too loud, much like these live streams. So there you go. But thank you, Brad. We're always throwing out the recommendations. We're going to have some really good recommendations and non-recommendations on our Friday live stream when we're done with Comic-Con. So thank you for that. Pilgrim Media for 2 says, enjoyed your coverage of the con, Chris. Thank you for your support. We're going to keep bringing it to you. We're going to be bringing it to you in the form of, we're going to be going to some film festivals and other cons, including LA Comic-Con in December before the end of the year. So stick with us and other live events. The member, I have some fun stuff I'm going to be posting for members only. This video of BJ Novak and some pictures. I have a picture of when I'm talking to him about RRR. It's so funny. So, and C Stein 69 for 499 says, yes, it is. Loves the Miller run and looks like we're going to get a version of Miller's run. I just hope it's really good. I look at that. I remember reading it and getting chills. It's one of those things and also okay, I remember buying this comic and I'm a kid and I'm like, what the, you're just looking at the stuff that happens. And it's not okay, it'll be on Disney. No, you got to wait 30 days for the next comic to come in. You got to wait 30 days for it to come. Then you got to read it. And then you wait another 30 days. These stories played out when I read The Dark Knight Returns by Frank Miller the first time in the 80s. That comic came out every 2 or 3 months. It was originally supposed to come out every couple months. It took a year for The Dark Knight Returns to finally all come out. Same thing with Watchmen, right? Watchmen was 12 issues. Alan Moore, that rolled out 1 issue a month for a year. It means you can really digest it. You can read the comic a couple times. You could pour over panels and look for stuff. So yeah. Oh, look at this. Derail Gaming for $4.99 says Samaritan looks better than anything Phase 5. Agree. I don't know if you saw the Samaritan trailer, Alan.
I didn't. No.
It's good. It looks good. It's it's Sylvester Stallone is sort of this retired, costumed vigilante, and he's to me actually.
So it's Dark Knight Returns, basically.
That's what I was thinking. It kind of feels like a low budget version of that. I could be wrong, but the trailer just hit and it looks good. Hey, there's 500 people watching. Smash that like button. We appreciate that. Aiken for $7.99 says the RRR director needs to be given all live action anime movies. Wow, that would be movie bliss. I've seen interviews with him, and SS Rajamouli has no interest in doing an American movie. He just said, I don't want to make American films. He loves Indian culture, Indian history, Indian mysticism and heroes, and he prefers to play in that sandbox, and it makes sense. He's an Indian director. He should make films about what he knows.
And making an American film doesn't have to be an aspiration for
exactly. And if anything, it's like a hindrance now. You can't do what you want. Everything is like, too many cooks.
Yeah, especially with the IPs. It's like you don't own the IPs. They're not your toy box, so you follow their rules.
Or you do what James Gunn did. You take a franchise people are not really familiar with. You kind of make it your own. And we're going to talk about that in just a minute.
Well, ask Edgar Wright that.
Well, exactly. Zao Reimer for 10 says, another thing that people miss about the longevity of movies are the toys and merchandise. Those are things that keep the spirit of the movies in people's heads so that they don't forget and be excited. So yeah, it's true.
Like Star Wars came out, when it left theaters, there was nothing but the toys and the merchandise.
Yeah, and so for 3 years, it's like toys, comics. I read Splinter of the Mind's Eye. I read the novelization of Star Wars from the Journal of the Wills. We ever gonna figure out what the hell that is? Yeah, Phil W. on this point. I would rather make a good film than an American film. Well, stick with us. Alan and I have a lot of indie movies to tell you about on Friday. And we're going to be talking about, of course, all the big movies opening in theaters this weekend. And we do need to revisit Nope because I don't think we did a proper review.
Yeah,
spoiler review of Nope. I plan on.
Well, we have a lot to talk about.
Let's get back to this. Okay, Guardians of the Galaxy. We went through this. I don't care about any of the Disney Plus stuff except for the Daredevil show. I'm probably not going to watch any of those. Secret Invasion, maybe.
Yeah, I would throw Agatha up there just because I like Catherine Hahn and I'm interested. But Secret Invasion, I think the footage they showed was intriguing. But
I didn't see it. Did you see it?
I didn't. Someone there described it, and
tell us.
It's basically the revelation that of the Secret Invasion. There are Skrulls walking among them. Nick Fury comes back from space to hook up with Maria Hill, and this sinister plot, Secret Invasion, unfolds at that point.
So, do you think that we're going to find out that the reason Thor was an idiot in Love and Thunder is because he was a Skrull? Do you think
it would have to be Earthbound heroes at this point?
Well, I don't know. I mean, before he left Earth, we don't know when this could have happened. Thor could be tied up somewhere in Asgard or put on ice. Captain America was on ice for 70 years?
Yeah.
So come on.
Yeah. To me though, it's like, if it's a Disney Plus show, are they going to get the heroes back? Are we, what exactly are we getting in this? And are we going to be promised the Secret Invasion storyline that we've all grown to love?
Here's I haven't even seen it. I haven't seen the footage at Comic-Con. My prediction on Secret Invasion is this. It will be underwhelming. And your brain, because you've read the comics, is going to have a better version of what that could have been in your head. Yeah. That's my thought. Now,
I thought it would be animated like What If, which is not on here. Is What If on here? No,
it's not.
Okay.
What If looks good. But let's go. Guardians of the Galaxy, I'm interested in.
Yeah, absolutely.
I saw James Gunn's speech. It's about Rocket and how Rocket Raccoon became Rocket Raccoon. You see him as a baby. Apparently in the footage they showed, it's like Rocket as a baby. You see like this transformation and kind of the pain that he suffered. And the way he described it, I'm so happy to hear him say this. James Gunn said that this is the trilogy. This James Gunn, when he originally envisioned it, he had like other storylines. Adam Warlock is going to be in it, so you'll have that aspect of it. You're going to have Gamora. My understanding is Gamora is with a different group.
She's the Ravager. She's part
a Ravager. They meet up. Peter Quill has the history with her, but she's completely unaware of that history. So that weighs on him. I think it's going to be really good because Suicide Squad was a blast and a lot of fun. I think he pushes the limits on what you can do. I mean, he talked about, let's be frank, in the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie, Peter Quill as Star-Lord talks about jerking off inside the Milano and throwing a black light on it so you could see where the splooge went. Now, that's in a Disney show, Marvel Disney thing. If anybody's going to push the limits, it's going to be James Gunn. And I feel like he doesn't give a fuck. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. They tried to cancel him. They fired him, which was basically they put him on suspension, double secret probation, brought him back after they realized, oh shit, James is too big of a talent.
Yeah.
We can't let him go. And he was
and during that time, what happened? DC got a hold of him.
Yeah.
And
he made a good movie for DC. And he also mapped out, he doesn't get enough credit for this. He mapped out a lot of aspects of phase 1, 2, 3 and the Infinity Saga as it's known. But Guardians of the Galaxy really interests me because it's going to do what I hope it does. I hope it ignores everything. I hope it's a Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is just a sequel to Guardians of the Galaxy 2, taking into account events that occurred, but all you need to see is the Avengers movies, right? Those are the ones you have to see. But that's it. Other than that, you don't have to see anything. And so I think it'll be really interesting. I just think it's going to be, because Doctor Strange 2 is not really a sequel to Doctor Strange. It's a sequel to everything that came out before that. Disney Plus.
It's contextual to the whole MCU timeline.
And if Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is untethered from those burdens, it can tell a really good story. And my prediction, you will cry. Yeah. Not me, but Alan will. Alan is going to cry. Blade, first of all, Blade, I hope Wesley Snipes is in it in some form. I do love Mahershala Ali as an actor. Mm-hmm. I think he's pretty incredible. And this is a guy that I don't know. I feel like he takes a lot of risks with a lot of things he does. And Blade interests me. How does that fit into the overall Marvel Cinematic Universe? Don't care. I'm going to see a Blade movie. Especially Wesley Snipes has to be in it, please. Please.
Let's not forget that it pays off some important Eternals storylines there. So
nobody cares. You know what I love? Eternals 2 is not on this. I already said I don't care about most of the Disney Plus shows. Thunderbolts, don't know if I care about that either.
Yeah. I mean, James Gunn, speaking of which, Suicide Squad, that's the Marvel version. And, it's been done perfectly in the last Suicide Squad movie.
Yeah, it's a little too late to the party. And the Captain America New World Order, I think that's going to be kind of where the new Avengers form. That's my prediction, is that's where you're going to see the new Avengers begin to form. What concerns me about all this as I look at this, I want to point out something that, but here's the problem I have with the Captain America movie. Does he have to wear that? That is the dumbest costume.
It's from the comic book.
I know it's from the comic book, and I know comic book fans, and I'm one of them, very much sticklers for accuracy. It was terrible in the comic book. It was terrible in the comic book. What I love that they did with Captain America's costume, with Steve Rogers, Chris Evans is that character. They made it practical. They made it like you sort of saw where the costume
was a military uniform.
It came from this sort of like bad campaign to raise money for war bonds, and then some terrible, show and entertaining the troops. It evolved into this like symbol, and it meant something. That I love that. I love that they made it work. Why does Sam Wilson get this ugly, like, superheroes on ice? It looks like an Ice Capades costume. Yeah. It looks as bad as, it looks as bad as, because I used to read the Captain America and the Falcon comics when I was a kid. I loved that comic.
I read those too.
I loved them. But Falcon's costume was dumb. It was dumb.
Well, he looked like a falcon. That was the whole point.
Although I had the Mego action figure. Could you look up the Mego action figures of Captain America and the Falcon just to show? I had those Mego action figures. I had the Planet of the Apes Mego action figures. I had Batman and Robin Mego action figures. I couldn't get them all, but I got as many as I could. And the thing about the Megos, they were held together. Like they were like these things that they would articulate, but they had these like elastic strings in the center, and they never ever completely stayed. And as they would begin to fall apart, we would just, this is typical kids in Michigan, we would tie like strings to their heads and spin them around like they were flying and throw them. They'd break, and then eventually we would burn them. So many of the things I think about, like I did as a kid, like would be like a national news story of a kid doing something incredibly irresponsible. Like,
is it MIGO or
MEGO, Mego action figures?
Yeah.
While you're looking that up, Alan, I'm going to go to the chat. We're going to move on to, isn't there another slide for this? There's another slide. I'm going to start at the bottom here.
Yeah, I think Phase 6 is in there.
Phase
but
6.
The thing about Captain America New World Order is
Yes.
that it will lead into Fantastic Four somehow.
Well, we'll see about that. Okay, comments here. Shucksy, you can't use the comic book to justify it if you change a bunch of other things from the comic book anyway. Might as well change something that looks stupid. Agree. Phil W., how about show Rocket as a single father raising his son Groot? There you go. Captain, wait, is the Falcon there too? These are these, you can get, they make like these new Mego figures, but I like, look, I'm glad that they exist. Yeah, look, I had that. Look at that. That was the Falcon. I had it. He had these like cheesy, but he had like the wings. It was great. Just to play with them all the time. Phil, yeah, so there you go. Jeff C. asks a very good question. Who the heck is Echo? Can I just say, I don't know what Echo is.
I don't know either.
It's
she's the first disabled superhero.
Is it a disabled superhero?
Yep. Yeah.
Oh my God. They're just checking boxes.
Because we've been asking for it. We've been asking for it. You know, it's like,
look,
what's missing? Yeah. What's that void in our life? Oh, a disabled superhero.
Quick aside, did you see that thing with Kamala Harris where she did this? This is just like yesterday. She did have some meeting where they announced their names and pronouns and what they looked like because it was some disabled thing and they wanted blind people. I feel like if you're blind, would you know what the color purple looks like if you've been blind from birth? I feel like the descriptions almost are like, okay, you know, I don't know. I guess I can feel a dress. I can't really, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, you know, have you been to the meetings where you have to do that?
I would feel like a moron.
I mean, like during COVID, when I was at on these virtual Q&As for film festivals, that's what they do. My name is Anne, she, her. You know, I'm wearing a blue dress, and there are coconuts in the background. You know, that's right. What they did at every introduction. I
am going to avoid that religion. I'm just going to avoid it, and I choose to not participate. CD Stein 69 says the actor is fine, but not a fan of the look of the High Evolutionary without the helmet. Yeah, that's in reference to the High Evolutionary who's in Guardians of the Galaxy. He's the one responsible for the what happened to Rocket.
Okay, so here's Phase 6.
Okay, cool. Can you blow that up a bit? Let me go through these chats real quick, and we'll pivot to Phase 6. Freedom Punk says, even if there's some truth to it, it's going to be a couple years of bad stuff coming out. Shucksy, how can they do Secret Invasion when in Captain Marvel they made Skrulls innocent, friendly refugees? Oh, I forgot to mention Captain Marvel in the last slide. Don't go back to it.
Okay.
So Marvels is coming out. The Marvels don't care. Don't care. I saw the Captain Marvel movie. It was like the first Marvel movie I saw that I sort of vehemently did not like, where I was like, oh, they're going off the rails with this. And of course I saw it like a lot of you. I saw Captain Marvel because it came between Infinity War and Endgame. And between Infinity War and Endgame, there was some pertinent information that we needed to see. We needed to see in Captain Marvel. And then we just discovered that Brie Larson is wildly, wildly unlikable. CD Stein 69 for 99. Speaking of Dark Knight Returns, that sideshow statue you showed on the walkthrough was amazing. Also was excited you got a shot of the Mando Luke statue that'll be coming to my door in October. I wish I had the space. I will be doing on our members stream. I'm going to do a tour of. I could probably do it and just show parts. I could do like hours and hours of it. I'll do a little bit, and then we'll see if people who are members want more stuff like that. But I have lots of stuff, not just the stuff behind me, like shelves and shelves, and like, what do I have here? Oh, here's something I have that's interesting. This came out on the 50th anniversary. Can you put me full screen for a second,
Yeah.
Alan? This came out on the 50th anniversary of 2001: A Space Odyssey. It's a USB drive of HAL 9000, and when you plug it in, the red eyeball like lights up. So there you go. That's one of the many things I have here where I look at it and I go, why do I have that? Okay, back to phase 6 here. And oh wait, back to the chat. Okay, so we got to that CD Stein 69. I envy you. I wish I had more space. Phil W. I would rather make a good film than an American film. I think we got that one. Yeah, okay. All right. Well, am I okay? There's new ones up here. Neil says Miller Run is my second favorite. I may get hate, but I loved Bendis's run. There's nothing wrong with that. We all have our personal preferences. Alan, can you just put the screen back up?
Yeah.
There we go. Cool. All right. Is here. Hi, Jensen chat. Indian foreign films have filled the void for me that many Hollywood productions have not. You are correct. I am with you. That has been the thing that has like saved me. You know, when I see, because I watch a lot of other YouTubers and their thoughts on things, and you know, it sucks when something you love, like a Star Wars, you really love, and then you see the Kenobi series and it's a colossal disappointment. Yeah, it's disappointing. Or when you see, like, you know, a Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness, or Thor, and you know, it's just, I feel like a lot of that is fatigue. A lot of it is like, where is this going? But yeah, for $4.99. Thank you for that. Yeah. Thanks, Film Threat, for covering them all. Yeah, thank you. We put a focus on indie films, and you're going to hear about a bunch on Friday. I cannot wait. We've got some really great director interviews on Friday, 3 back-to-back. If it all works out, we're going to have 3 director interviews. It's going to be a long stream that day. So please stick with us here. Diano is a new member. Thank you for that. I'm going to be posting some fun stuff. And Tiberius Crack is too. Alan doing his best Ryan Cannell imitation with 59 tabs open. Lap my ass off. Yeah, and look, Matthew McCallum, Daredevil is disabled. That's true. Do we really need an Echo? Don't we already have a disabled superhero? Although they made a joke.
Why do you have to have one? That's the question.
Well, they made a joke about that in season 2 of The Boys. When Homelander, there's that one like superhero that's blind. It's kind of a Daredevil, like, and he just like smashes his ears, and it's just like, this guy's worthless. That's stupid. Yeah. But let's get to this. Let's get to this. Marvel's Phase 6. Okay. There's a lot of empty spaces here. Now it says November. Is it November? I can't read the date.
Yeah, November. It's a single digit, and it says 2024.
November 2024. November 8th, whatever it is. November 2024, Fantastic Four. Will it be a period piece set in the 60s? I hope so.
It won't.
It could be partly set in the 60s in an alternative timeline, and then maybe they come into the Marvel Universe through the quantum realm.
Mm-hmm.
Or are we going to get Annihilus in the negative zone? Who knows? We might.
Well, like I said, so Captain America and Thunderbolts are the ones that lead into this, which right, I'm not making the connection right now.
How do the Marvels fit in? Did you hear the leaked report that came out that said that the Marvels, someone who was working on the production, says it's goofy and over the top, like funny,
like She-Hulk?
Yeah. Oh, we didn't talk about She-Hulk. Can I just say something?
Yeah.
Controversial. I kind of like the second trailer. It looks dumb, but I loved She-Hulk from the comics when She-Hulk was part of the Fantastic Four. It looks dumb, and I think I figured out what the appeal of She-Hulk is. I actually like the actress who plays her too.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I still think the effects are an issue, but it showed that, like, look, this is going to be fun. It's going to be like a legal show, but with a superhero. I think my girlfriend would actually like this show.
Did you watch the presentation?
I didn't see the presentation, but I saw the trailer.
Because it's definitely they make no bones about it. It's a sitcom, and my issue with the trailer is two things. One is emasculated Hulk, and two is because it's a sitcom. All they did in the trailer was basically show clips of her kind of having a smart aleck, being a smart aleck.
Can I just say I have a theory on this? Two quick things I want to say about She-Hulk. Okay. One, is Hulk being emasculated, or is Hulk doing what I do when I would say play a game with my girlfriend and I let her win? Think about it.
Yeah, but again, I'm only going off of the presentation of what was in that trailer.
Right? I can't tell you how many times I've lost on a video game because I don't want to beat my girlfriend every game because I can. I can sit there, I'm going to play EDF. I'm going to win. She's going to die. I'm going to win. She's going to die. I'm going to try to protect her. We're going to play a sports game. You know, I would play sports games with my son, sports video games with my son when he was a kid. What would I do? I'd let him win sometimes because I don't want him to lose interest in playing a video game with his dad. And then it got to a point where he kicked my ass.
Yeah. So you and I have very different parenting philosophies.
All right. Well, there you go.
I never let my daughter win. And if I had to cheat, I would do it.
Well, I will say this. I let him win sometimes because I didn't want him to lose interest. Like, you can do it. You can do it. Come on. So my feeling is there's going to be a suggestion from Bruce Banner Hulk. He's kind of letting her win.
Okay.
Letting her win.
I hope.
That's my theory.
And again, I think the trailer just shows all her jokey moments. I'm hoping there's a little less of that, but they're making it very clear. It's a sitcom. You're supposed to laugh.
You know what? It looks fun. The other thing is there's a weird fetish, and Alan, if you could put this in your Google history, look up. Okay, and the only reason I know this, stick with me, folks. There's over 500 people watching now. I'm about to blow your mind. There's a show that was on HBO, and the reason I know this is because Sheila Nevins was the head of reality programming for HBO. Okay. And she told me in a speech, it's a long story how he knows. I went to the Sundance Producers Conference and I got to meet her and talk to her. Fascinating woman, very supportive. But she also she's like, look, if I can do some sex stuff like G-String Divas or Real Sex, or those kind of sex-related shows, that gives me money to go make a serious documentary, like a documentary about New Orleans directed by Spike Lee, right? So her whole thing was, I can do more socially relevant documentaries if I do the sex stuff. There's a show called Real Sex. There's also another one that's the same vein. It's like the web version of it. It's all on HBO if they haven't gotten rid of that programming. And one of the episodes, I remember this, it's weird. It's about a sex fetish called gigantism. And what gigantism is sexy women this guy produced all this. It wasn't porn. It was sexy. So what it was sexy women, and he would shoot them against a green screen. So they were giants. And this guy had a fantasy of him being picked up by a woman that was larger than him. Come to find out that's a real thing. There are short men, small men that like to be with larger women. That's a thing that exists. I learned this from a television show on HBO, folks. Okay. I want you to find, Alan, the website. Just look up gigantism video, just so we can get some stills. Nothing. Now, none of this is I don't know if there's nudity in any of this. Make sure there's not. But I remember very clearly there's a thing where a woman is think of it as we just did a thing on it. Attack of the 50-foot cam girl. That is based on a real thing. Okay. It's a real thing. So my feeling is part of what will be explored in She-Hulk is that aspect. Now the chat is going nuts with what I'm saying. The chat is going nuts.
I'm not sure I'm ready to turn my my safe search off at the moment.
You have to turn your safe search off. But that show, if you remember Real Sex, really great show, because it took a look at sex from a clinical standpoint. Like, what are these interesting things that, in the realm of sex? It wasn't like pornography. It sort of explored different lifestyles. It was interesting show. But, and I feel like they always took like a very, almost like a, almost scholarly look. So, wait, am I missing a super chats here? There you go. Wait, Midnight's Edge After Dark is here. Tom, I am so sorry about Monday. My apologies. I was not, first of all, I was not awake. And secondly, just not even able to physically speak. But have you found what I'm talking about, Alan?
No, I haven't.
Jeez, do I have to?
It's like, because I'm
guess who doesn't have
I'm putting the search terms in. I'm getting actual gigantism.
Right.
Yeah, you gotta. I don't know exactly what you're looking for. You gotta.
Okay. Yeah, it's. I can't show any of this stuff.
Yeah, I know.
Oh no,
I know.
can't show any of this stuff. Just if you can find the Real Sex episode, maybe look up on YouTube Real Sex. You could find it.
Is it even on HBO Max? I thought they got rid of that whole thing altogether.
Did they get rid of it? I don't know, because there's a lot of things that you could. If anybody finds it, post it in the chat.
Oh my
god! So, wait, Freedom Punk.
I can't look up it.
Freedom Punk says they are all over Pornhub, and their actual She-Hulk videos like it too. Mainly feature girls ripping out of their clothes and going green or becoming giantesses. Maybe it's giantess. Maybe I've got it wrong. Maybe it's giantess.
Giantesses.
Look up giantess, Alan. All right. Gotham Bat is saying, can we just talk about nerd shit? Yes.
It's like,
oh, did they get rid of Real Sex?
They might have. All
right. Back to this.
There.
So the Fantastic Four, I want to talk about Fantastic Four November 2024. Is John Krasinski playing Reed Richards? There was a rumor about another actor playing Reed Richards.
I mean, I think it's still open.
Okay. Alan, you're going to be at D23. Is that correct? When is it?
Well, if I get press credentials and after these last few streams, I don't know that Disney's going to give it to me.
You're going to get it. You're going to get it. You're going to get it, Alan.
Yeah. If it is, I will do my best to get in that panel.
Well, what I would love for you to do is if you could shoot some videos from there and post it, on the channel.
Yeah.
D23. And if I can sneak in with you, I'll go. I'll go. Because I like showing you, a lot of, what we do is I'm sitting in my home studio. Okay. Sitting in my home studio. But I like when we can get out and go to a film festival or a convention or an event. And there you go. Ronan Blade says Hustler Side is showing. I'm just Hustler Side is showing. Dude, come on. This is it's a new conversation.
You work there.
For a time, yeah, briefly. There you go. In the 90s. So wait, Something Wicked says HBO Max got rid of all their overt sex-related stuff around the time GOT, but not popular.
And Cinemax did the same thing.
Didn't bury it?
No, they got rid of it.
Okay. All right. And very relevant question here. John Witchboy, what is up with the stupid 4 logo? Why not use FF logo? I agree. They've used different versions of it. There have been 3 incarnations of the Fantastic Four in the movie realm, right?
Yeah.
And
they've never changed the comic books.
They've never gotten it right. The closest was the original Fantastic Four movie, that was made by Roger Corman. And if I could just show you here, can I just show you real quick? I have some figures here that maybe you can if you can blow me up full screen, Alan. I got these.
Oh wow!
And I
what the hell?
Almost got all of them. I'm missing a couple, but
that head shape is weird.
Yeah, it's sort of Funko-ish, Funko Pop-ish. But there you go. So All right, putting that back. Let's get back to Phase 6. Fantastic Four kicking it off. I like that aspect. I like the fact that they're kicking it off.
It's a good start,
I just don't have faith in Disney's ability to make it authentic. And Matt is saying this is correct. Wait, I missed Matt's comment. Sorry, comments are flying fast and furious here. Matt Six Bear says Fantastic Four should be a period piece like Mad Men. I agree. It should be a period piece.
Yeah.
I think the X-Men should be a period piece.
See, what's interesting is the stuff that's missing here.
What's that?
Well, there's no X-Men.
Throw that back up, Alan.
The
graphic.
Sorry. Yeah, I mean, there's 6 months between Fantastic Four and the first Avengers movie. And then we have Secret Wars over here, which, I don't know, if they screw up the multiverse thing, which, yeah, I mean, Secret Wars could definitely lead out of the Kang Dynasty, but there's no X-Men here. Eternals, are they coming back in this phase?
I hope not. I don't care about Eternals. I feel like
Well, they promised it at the end of the movie that the Eternals would return.
Well, I think they're going to return in the Avengers or a Disney Plus show. I think that the Eternals just should have been a Disney Plus show. And yes, Shelby AC, Venture Brothers does such a hilarious take on Fantastic Four. I agree. I love the Fantastic Four along with Batman. It was kind of my gateway comic. You know, that's when I became aware of superheroes. I read the first 100 issues of the FF and into, different runs, John Byrne run and whatnot. Like, I love the Fantastic Four. I think that it's there's a couple issues. One, you could never do a good Fantastic Four movie just the way that Jack Kirby did the FF. When you look at like certain panels, like I don't know if you saw some of our live streams, but I definitely had a focus on finding Fantastic Four art. We went to Alex Ross's booth and he had a couple paintings of the Fantastic Four, like in action poses, like Reed Richards with his torso kind of wrapped around and some action happening in the thing. Like only now can we do effects worthy of potentially doing a Fantastic Four movie, and only if it's done by the best artists. We've seen the Marvel special effects now are spotty. There has been a dramatic drop post Endgame in the quality of effects for Marvel properties. Am I right or wrong, Alan?
Well, definitely for television. Ms. Marvel is the greatest example of this. The effects budget was very low on it, and her powers are very weak.
Yeah. I'm shooting light beams. Like, okay.
I create crystals from my feet. Yeah.
And then
I mean, her powers in the comic book and the video game are so much better than what was on the TV show.
Mike Has Bad Knees says She-Hulk was a member of the Fantastic Four for a while. Oh, I remember fondly.
Yeah, that came out of Secret Wars, too.
I remember fondly. Are they doing that in the MCU? They can. It doesn't mean they will, but they can do it.
Yeah, I mean, my feeling about the Fantastic Four, especially the later runs, have been it's very science-based. It's very heady. And so it always made me question whether you could tell make a good Fantastic Four movie.
I think that, and I've said this for a long time, I think that the Fantastic Four always should have been like a 50-minute episodic series that's science and exploration, and you just bring in different villains. You have, season-long arcs.
They get kind of educational in a way.
It should be like Doctor Who. It just is nuts and over the top, and it's like Reed Richards with some like Jack Kirby, like complicated, where he's looking in a thing, but he has something in his ear and he's stretching his arm over there to pull a lever, and Ben and Johnny come in and they're fighting, and then they ruin whatever experiment Mr. Fantastic is doing or Reed Richards is doing, which just drives him crazy. It's all the family drama, but there's a couple things. One, there are a couple things I want to go over. It should be a period piece. I think that would be awesome. I think that, and then you could bring them to the present via the quantum realm. So maybe you at least have one, just like with the first Avenger, Captain America. You could have one movie set as a period film. That would be great. Bring them to the present. That would be fine too. Yeah. But there's a couple things that you have to think about. One, they've had the flame, the Human Torch, right? Johnny Storm. And can I just say something I've always despised about Chris Evans? Chris Evans plays two, not one, two iconic characters from the Marvel Universe. Johnny Storm and Steve Rogers. Both are blondes. And he doesn't fucking dye his hair blonde? Give me a break. You're playing these iconic. I've been reading the comic for years. Johnny Storm is blonde. Sue Storm, blonde. Steve Rogers, blonde. Dude, dye your hair. Or at least get an actor who already has blonde hair or is willing to dye their hair.
Yeah, like Homelander.
Yeah, like Homelander. I do it.
He definitely dyed his hair. Yeah. The other thing about the Fantastic Four movie that no one talks about, but can they tell a story that will earn $1 billion at the box office?
We'll see. I want to go through some of these chats here before we finish up with phase 6 here. Neil says, I just saw the She-Hulk latest trailer. I didn't hate it. See, I felt the same way. I was like, I don't hate this. It's just a sitcom. It's not like this huge, like there's going to be a thing and a villain and this. No,
and I don't mind a sitcom. It's just the humor felt so smarmy, and to juxtapose it with emasculated Hulk, it was just like, well, all right, is this just feminist humor coming across?
Let me finish Neil's comment. I just saw the She-Hulk trailer, didn't hate it. The CGI is still weak, but the actor playing Jen Walters is very good. Agree. And I like the tongue-in-cheek fourth wall breaking, like John Burns' run. John Burns' run.
Love John Byrne.
Yeah. So I just like I that's what I thought. I thought, I don't hate this completely. I will give it a chance. Whereas like other series, I just don't care. So Andor's coming up. Do we care about that?
I'm pretty sure we're going to be talking about it.
Alan is a monster, and he's my idol for parenting. Baron the Duke, Monarch.
Absolutely. Don't let them win. Don't let them win.
Yvonne Solomon, this is the same Marvel that's removing the men in X-Men. Hard X. Yeah. This is why I like have so little faith in Marvel. It's just like I'm interested in things. My faith is kind of not there. But let's go through this. So there's some empty slots here. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, and the whole bottom row of Disney Plus stuff.
And a bunch of Disney Plus stuff. So once we get to 2025 for Avengers Secret Wars, the movie, which somehow is going to tie into the Kang Dynasty, right?
Yeah.
We'll see. But there you are.
Hey, by the way, I got to go in a half an hour, and we have the giveaway to do.
Let's do the giveaway right now.
Yeah, well, we can set it up and do the actual giveaway at the end, but this is how it works. I'm giving away 2 copies of the let's go big here.
Baby Assassins Blu-ray.
The Baby's Assassin Blu-ray. I have 2 copies. You have to be a U.S. resident. I'm shipping it to a U.S. address. I think the best way to do is in the chat. Just give me the first part of your email, and then you'll contact us on our website so I can get your address. But the way it's done is, if you would like to enter the drawing, I've got a thing here. Yeah, if you'd like to enter the drawing in the chat, enter #assassins in the chat, and
you're going to randomly pick 2 people.
Yeah, we have a StreamYard thing that will randomly select 2 people from those who #assassins in the chat.
Cool. All right, there you go. Alan, you're taking care of that. I have nothing to do with it.
I'll take care of it. Yeah, just like that.
Oh, there you go. Just like that. Okay, cool. All right. Awesome. Let's pivot for a second. Let's talk about
and we'll draw it in before at the top of the hour.
Yeah. Right. But let's pivot for a second and talk about some of the other things that were at San Diego Comic-Con and things that were not at San Diego Comic-Con. You know what was not at San Diego Comic-Con?
What was not?
Brie Larson or the Marvels.
Oh, I'll tell you something else that wasn't at Comic-Con.
No, what was not?
No one cosplaying as Reva.
Oh no! First of all, I didn't even think of that. I didn't even think of that. Yeah, there were no Revas. That was weird, man.
I know.
That was weird. Nothing. But I wanted to, you know what I wanted to see desperately? I wanted to see someone dressed as Obi-Wan, but Obi-Wan in an Imperial outfit, smuggling a little girl under a trench coat. That would be, first of all, it's one of the dumbest moments in the history of Star Wars. I would say, if not the dumbest moment. Okay.
Oh, but
when you think
by the way, real quick, it's spelled ass ins. So make sure you spell it right. And the system will only take one of your entries. So if you spam the chat with it, it will only count as one entry. So, cool. Okay, keep going.
So Alan, you're going to pick the winner and ship it out, and I don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Great. But yeah, Brie Larson wasn't there with Marvels. I know that they're shooting. They're still shooting.
I'm not sure they're in production yet, but
yeah, they are. They've talked about it. They've talked. Okay. About it. It's in production.
All right.
But they weren't. So Brie Larson wasn't there. I don't think people are super excited about that film. I'm surprised it's even moving ahead. I think it benefited from being the movie that was sandwiched between two of the biggest films ever to come out of Marvel. So we'll see. But the other thing that was a little disappointing to me was DC. Yeah. Two things. One, if you saw, maybe we could change that to like DC at SDCC.
Okay.
Let's change that to DC at SDCC. Thanks, Alan. Appreciate that. Cool. We're flying blind today, so I appreciate your patience, folks, and everyone watching in the chat, because we're without our faithful producer, Flaccid Phoenix, but we will be on Friday. So DC at SDCC. That's it. I was just going to say no Henry Cavill. One, it's rumored Henry Cavill is in Shazam. And we saw the trailer for that. It looks okay. I saw the trailer for Black Adam. Looks okay. You know what it seems like, especially Black Adam. Black Adam looks like a superhero movie from 6 years ago. It's like, look, he can fly. He has a tortured soul. Like, it's like everything you sort of check in a box. It's like seen that in other movies and done better. And when I see The Rock in a movie, I don't think The Rock is particularly good at playing characters. The Rock is The Rock in every movie. If The Rock is in a Fast and the Furious movie, he's The Rock. If The Rock is in a Jungle Cruise movie, he's The Rock. If The Rock is in a blah, blah, blah movie, he's The Rock. The Rock is really good at playing The Rock. The Rock is not good at playing characters. And Black Adam is supposed to be a villain. And I think it's kind of a mistake to cast him as that, because he's too likable. And if you're going to cast a villain, you can't have him be too likable. You can have him be relatable, but not likable. And it really
yeah. There's no way The Rock is going to remain the heel throughout the entire movie.
So announcing what they announced was like kind of unimpressive. They debuted the trailers. Okay, that's fine. What's going on with The Flash? This would have been a huge opportunity for DC to go, or maybe even maybe it's pre-recorded, a video from Ezra Miller saying, I have been struggling. I hear you. I have made mistakes. I am sorry for those people whose lives I've disrupted. Look, you could write a canned thing. It could be honest. It could be even sort of Ezra Miller style, but you knew that guy is batshit, because I've seen him on panels in Hall H before. I've been in Hall H. I've been fortunate enough to get in there. I've seen him in there. He's crazy. He dressed in this one outfit where he was like Princess Toadstool. And was he a princess and a mushroom? He looked like an idiot. And he was talking about smashing the patriarchy. It's like typical rhetoric, whatever. Wow, you're saying something very original. Who told you to repeat that? It's not very original. And he just seems off his rocker. San Diego Comic, he would have been the biggest. It would have overshadowed two things that DC could have done that would have overshadowed Marvel. More of what you've seen. More of it you've seen. Third movie, second movie, another Disney Plus show. Who cares? Blah, 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 blah. All of that would have been overshadowed if Ezra Miller came out and made a statement. even if it was on video, if they showed a teaser for The Flash, which I've talked to people who've seen it, they say it's phenomenal. They say it's like a sort of, it's like Back to the Future Part 2, over the top, and includes aspects of the DC universe we all love combining. It's their multiverse movie. If they would have had Henry Cavill there and announced a freaking Superman movie. We're going on 3 Guardians of the Galaxy. They're making a second movie with Captain Marvel. Or this would be, wait, no, she was in Endgame. She was in Ms. Marvel, whatever. That is $1 billion check waiting to be cashed, because that first movie, whatever you think of Man of Steel, it's aged better than you think. Maybe when you first saw it, it kind of was like, and I felt the same way. This was what, 2014? Am I right? 2014, 2013, Man of Steel. That music, Hans Zimmer, I get chills thinking about it. That original trailer with Kevin Costner. There's so many great moments in it, emotional moments. And when you saw that movie, it was kind of jarring. Like, oh, this is not Christopher Reeve. This is violent. This is actually kind of based in reality. You know, it was like what Chris Nolan was doing with it. Chris Nolan was an executive producer on Man of Steel. Chris Nolan grounded The Dark Knight in reality, right? Like when you go back, watch the Dark Knight trilogy, it's grounded in reality. A human could do all these things, right? This is all possible in this world, in this universe that Christopher Nolan created. That was the same approach they were taking with Superman. You can argue about the ending and killing Zod and all that, whatever. We can go back and forth on that. But a Henry Cavill Superman movie with Henry Cavill coming out with that music and just a teaser with a logo and a title would have taken the con by storm. By storm. It would have overshadowed Marvel. Just 2 things: an apology from Ezra Miller, and just sort of because look, what we know about people, they love redemption arcs, right? A redemption arc like that. Not for certain things. For certain things, you're irredeemable. You know, anything involving ending someone else's life, just a lot of things that are irredeemable to me. Okay. But what Ezra Miller is just being weird. He's probably, he needs help. For him to come out and make, it would have trended on social media. It would have been all anyone was talking about. And then Henry Cavill Superman, DC blew it. Now, wait for it. Are they saving all this for Fandom? Mistake. Fandom does, and I've watched both the fandoms that they've done. The DC Fandom. It's basically like 8 hours of commercials.
Yeah, it's an infomercial for
it's DC. An infomercial for DC everything. Okay. That's fine, but you've got all of the press there. You've got it's approximately, I only know this because I got the list once. Yeah. Someone leaked to me the press list from San Diego Comic-Con. It's 2,000 attending people. 2,000 people. And from every major outlet. Name a geek outlet, they're there. A podcast, they're there. A television network is there. They're there. And DC blew it. They blew it. They showed stuff that we expected, and it was good. Nothing that blew our minds. So what are we talking about? I guess we're talking about Marvel phase.
I mean, I'll defend DC in only 2 ways. One is they just got bought out, and they got their funding for San Diego Comic-Con pulled at the last minute, and so you know there was an intention on the corporate side to economize DC at this moment. The second thing, the redemption of Ezra Miller. Well, is he ready to be redeemed? Is he in a position where he wants to be redeemed? And would putting him out in public be a worse thing if he isn't truly there yet than having him out there at all?
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, So well, I'll cut them a little bit of slack this year.
Let's go to the chat here. I know you got to leave in like 15 minutes, Alan.
Yeah.
But let's look at the chat. Retro Nerd Girl, DC is still unorganized. They need to get their slate of movies in order. They don't even know who their Superman is going to be. Sad. I agree. Black Adam looks like zero fun, says Tucker Time. Black Adam just looks like we've seen that before. Like, oh, it's Superman in a black suit, but it's the Rock. And the Rock is just the Rock in every movie. He's not, it's not like certain actors, like let's say like a Mark Rylance. Like sometimes Mark Rylance is in a movie and I don't know that it's Mark Rylance. That's how good that actor is. Okay. That's an actor. So, and Gotham Bat.
The Rock draws money. That's the thing, is he regardless of what role he is or whether you like it or not, people will go see Black Adam because of The Rock.
Gotham Bat says, are they doing DC Fandom again? That would be a positive. Yes, they are. So my guess is they're going to save it for that. Are there new super chats or stuff that I missed? So
no, not yet.
Yeah. And Aaron Rosenfeld correcting some facts here for us. Thank you, Aaron, for that. Look, I know a lot, but I don't know everything. I know a lot about a lot of really stupid shit, to be quite frank. But, but I appreciate, I can always count on the chat of like, what's that guy's name? Oh yeah. He played Logan 5, Michael York. Awesome. Novel by William F. Nolan. That's Logan's Run reference. But Aaron says Echo is the first Native American Marvel character. Wait, is that before when the X-Men changed? Was it issue 94 of the X-Men? What issue was it of the X-Men where they changed? There was that one character that was Indian, and he lasted one issue.
Oh yeah, Thunderbolt. I can say Thunderbolt, but
look it up. Are you sure Echo is the first Native American Marvel character? Because that was in
Thunderbird. He's Thunderbird.
Thunderbird, but he was like literally in one issue and killed.
Yeah, they killed him off very fast.
Yeah, that's the good thing about X-Men is there's so many, you can just kill them off. And I feel like they're using the term men in the same way that you would say mankind. Mankind includes everyone.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Well, they should replace it with the non-gendered X, so it'd be XX.
And Shuxy here Shuxy is here. Is that the symbol? Is that a member chat? I'm still figuring stuff out, folks.
Yeah, they're kind of bolded. The members are bolded.
Okay, so apologies. Flaccid Phoenix isn't here to help us. It's literally like Flaccid Phoenix said, here's $10, go get Dad a pack of cigarettes. And then told Alan and I to go there. And then we bought comic books and candy and push-ups. You know those push-up pops?
Yes.
They're delicious. Who doesn't love a delicious orange push-up? I'm sure they're like small size now. Shuxy says, open the USB file, Hal. I'm sorry, Chris. I'm afraid I can't do that. And Shuxy also says, no, Disney is clearly non-ironically making the Hulk look like a useless sack. I don't know. I mean, we'll see. Like, it's like, whatever. We know he's not that.
Yeah, I miss Angry Hulk, too.
I do. CD Stein 69. The second trailer makes it more look like an 80s, 90s sensational She-Hulk. Fourth wall breaking. Best part was he pushed her off the cliff. She flipped him the bird. Tells you all you need to know. I think it just like it's straight up sitcom. It looks fun. It looks fun. It's a superhero thing. I think I could convince my girlfriend to watch. Like, let's just watch it. But I'll probably just wait.
Clearly, you have a thing for Tatiana Maslany.
I think she's great. I think she's the thing about the show that is, it's really going to come down to the writing. And I think here's what I think. The effects from what we've seen are not great. You can overlook them if the story is good. Okay. We've done this with a million. Look, Logan's Run, the effects are, they vary from like amazing to horrible. And I overlook it all because of the amazing score, and I love Jenny Agutter. Whole other conversation.
Yeah,
folks.
The thing about the Hulk is when you got rid of the whole anger turns him into the Hulk, you took away basically the character, and now he's just a big green guy who's smart.
The Bad Bandito says, wasn't there an American Indian in Days of Future Past? I think there might have been. Shaman and Alpha Flight, says Stephen Lucky.
There you go.
And John Witchboy says, I think DC is hoping everyone forgets Ezra Miller.
Yeah.
I
Just
would
get
agree.
the movie out of there and then move on.
DC blew an opportunity. And I don't care. I know they're reorganizing, whatever. Your two top priorities, fix this Ezra Miller Flash thing. And it is, I believe it's fixable. I believe it is fixable. And from what I'm told, there's a very good movie there that I hope we get to see. And then as for Henry Cavill's Superman, check waiting to be cashed is what that is. But let's pivot to some other things that were happening at San Diego Comic-Con. Alan, did you see the new Rings of Power trailer?
I didn't, but I did see the panel, the big presentation, and oh boy.
Tell me about the panel, because I didn't go.
The panel, okay, so the panel that really meant anything was the showrunner, the writer, and the production designer. I don't know their names, but they were interviewed by Stephen Colbert, which should say a whole lot about what's going on. But you could tell that they are in fix-it mode. That they're trying to turn the talk around. And so during this interview, you could the literal drinking game at that point was every time they said the word Tolkien, take a drink, and you'd be very drunk. And during this panel, all they're doing is they're working really hard to prove the fact that they are true fans of J.R.R. Tolkien, true fans of the series, and that they will do nothing but live up to the spirit of Tolkien. And I think it just felt like they were working way too hard. The showrunner, he goes into this long monologue in Elvish, in fluent Elvish. And then when Claire, challenged, basically asked a question that one of us critics would say, the guy said, well, I just gave you a whole speech in Elvish. Of course I'm a fan, it's kind of like it felt like they were working too hard rather than feeling authentic at all as true fans. But again, I can't really question their character. Maybe they are. Ultimately it comes down to what's presented on the show and to see whether the hysteria is true or not.
Well, so here's my take. And they were all over town. There were displays. There were like half a building was kind of taken over, there are a lot of buildings in, the gas lamp in San Diego where it was taken over. And it just seems like there's no energy behind it. They already made 3 never before to be repeated amazing Lord of the Rings films. Maybe there'll be more in the future. I defy you right now. Go watch 5 minutes. 1 minute. You don't have a lot of patience. Watch 1 minute of Peter Jackson talking about Lord of the Rings. When you see his passion, he was born to do that. Yeah. And he was fairly untested before. When you look at Peter Jackson made some really interesting and weird films.
Frighteners and
weird films. Amazing stuff. You wouldn't have thought that guy had it in him to do Lord of the Rings. And then you saw that first movie. I was not a fan of Lord of the Rings, and I was blown away by that trailer. I had to go get some water. So excuse me.
And the other thing about the Lord of the Rings is there's source material. There's a book. Whatever Rings of Power is doing, they're making it up, and they're claiming to have channeled the spirit of Tolkien, which I'm skeptical. Again, I don't want to judge it. I do want to give it a fair shot, but my gut is telling me this is, and the fact that Amazon has invested already in 2 seasons, they put too much money in it, and so they have to turn this around somehow. Are you muted? You're muted.
I think they're committed to what it is. I think it's too late to right the ship. If they would, it would be in the final 3 seasons if it goes 5 seasons. Yeah. And I think it looks incredibly generic. It looks like they've infused too much modern politics into it, modern day modernity, as one says, and it just looks uninteresting to me. Nothing about it says to me I can't wait. I'm more interested in She-Hulk after that second trailer than I am in Rings of Power. I'm serious.
You're probably right.
I'm being completely honest with you. So, now, should I watch it? We're going to be busy covering a lot of other things. There is a very good chance that you and I will get screeners of it.
We will. Amazon's been really good about sending us everything.
So do we cover it? I'm going to let our chat decide. Do we cover it? Do we at least cover the first few episodes? Let the chat decide. And now I'm coming into it. I'm not Gary Beekler. I'm not an expert. Okay. I'm not Nerdrotic.
Yeah.
So I'm coming into it as not a Tolkien expert. Is it a good show? Is it a story that's engaging? Am I involved with this? Do I love the characters? I don't know. I think prequels, as a rule, have a spotty track record. I'm going to let the chat decide, and then we'll go from there. Alan, I know you only have a few minutes left. Can we have another 10 minutes, maybe?
Let me see. Well, in 4 minutes, we'll do the drawing, and then.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, you have to be here for the drawing, and basically give me your. If you get called, if you win, just in the chat, give me your town and state, and then I'll explain it after that.
Well, okay, yeah, we'll explain how to get it. Holy Hand Grenade says, Chris, why do you keep giving Disney the benefit of the doubt?
Oh, I think that's me he's referring to.
Yeah, I think you're referring to Alan. No, I have no faith, but there are people that I trust. Peyton Reed as a director, James Gunn as a director. I didn't. Were you here? I basically said half the stuff I don't care about. So Holy Hand Grenades. What am I saying? The other thing is I am wildly optimistic about certain things. And I also feel like I keep a diversified media diet. So I watch a lot of indie stuff and foreign films, and that kind of keeps me like the fact that like certain things look terrible don't bother me. So I don't know where you got the impression I'm giving Disney the benefit of the doubt.
Well, because you're saying positive things about She-Hulk.
I'm trying to be real. No, I'm not.
You're much more optimistic about She-Hulk than I am.
Only because I thought that second's like, oh, it's a dumb sitcom. It's not meaningful to the Marvel universe. And also I loved She-Hulk as a character. Mm-hmm. When she was part of the Fantastic Four. I really loved it. Yeah. We got some super chats here. Let's get to those. John Orchard says, for 20, says, you guys are like the Siskel and Ebert of YouTube. Stories should not depend on effects. I agree. Mm-hmm. They should depend on story that helps us suspend belief. All the effects in the world doesn't make a good story. Yeah. I mean, look at Rings of Power.
Look at even
the effects are great. The effects actually, the thing is like, they look good. Like they don't look bad, but they look good. But yeah, the story is the thing. And John, you're right. Alan and I do disagree, but I respect Alan's opinion. I feel like and I actually like opinions that divert from my own, but I try to be realistic about stuff. I mean, as much as like I'm optimistic, like I don't want things to be bad. I want the Marvels to be good. I don't care because I don't like Brie Larson in that role. I think she's incredible. She's terribly miscast. But look, if it's good, it's good.
Yeah.
Bert for 5.
We spend a lot of time in theaters, and I would much prefer to have a good time than to have a bad time. Bert, and I don't like hate watching stuff. But
I don't like to hate watch something. There's only a couple things I've hate watched. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah, Kenobi one for one.
Kenobi, I feel like I had to finish it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just like, let's just get it over with. Bert for 5 says, Chris, thanks for backtracking to the Alex Ross exhibit on San Diego Comic-Con Day 2 and giving us a tour of the artwork. Thanks for the abbreviated Day 3 tour as well. Well, I think you could tell. My apologies for my abbreviated tour on Saturday and Sunday. I was just dead. I was walking 10 miles a day, something I don't normally do. I'm sorry. I'm more of a 5 miles on my steps, right? But like, yeah, it was physically an endurance test there. So, but thank you, Bert. I appreciate that. John Orchard for 5. I'm channeling the spirits of Jim Beam does make me a bottle. Well, there you go. I wish I could show you my alcohol cabinet, which is just actually right behind it. I have like a bar and a cabinet. One of these days on the members, I'll give you guys a tour.
Hey, it's 3:00. Should we just do
two more super chats.
Okay,
two more super chats, and we'll do the drawing. CD Stein 69 for $4.99. Echo Not First. Forge, Mirage, Thunderbird, Warpath, and one of the members from Alpha Flight, all Native American heroes. Yes, I can't stand this thing of like, they think like, oh my gosh, this is the first female superhero. It's like, this is not, like, I've been around the nerd world a long time. So I'm the ancient one. But what I'm saying is, these aren't firsts. You think they're firsts. They're not. Thank you for pointing that out. Colt Seaman for 10. Just got home. What's happening? Also, everyone become a member today. Doing that makes Alan dance like a madman. Oh, does he dance?
It's like Pavlov's dog here.
No, here it is. This is Anyways, Alan, I think before we pivot to another topic, let's do the drawing right now.
All right. Here we go. We have 37 entries. You did the hashtag assassins. So here's what's going to happen. I need whoever wins, I need you to put your name, your hometown, your city, and your state in the chat. And then you're going to go to our contact page. Where is?
I got it already up.
Okay, go to contact. And then give me your full address there, and then I'll send it to you. But you gotta do it when your name shows up, so that I can leave and that we have it. So here we go. Cool. The first winner. We had 2 Blu-rays, and the first one goes to. Am I supposed to end this? There we go. Here we go. To Fatty416.
Fatty416, you won the Blu-ray.
Yeah,
that's
so
great.
Put your city and state in the chat right now if you can.
No, they don't need to do that. Just go to filmthreat.com/contact. Give Alan your address. Say, I'm the winner. I'm Fatty416.
Okay.
So there you go. Okay, let's pick the next
winner.
here
we go. Second winner.
Draw again.
Oh, okay. We got 2 more. We're at 40.
We got more entries. Draw again. Let's go.
All right.
Let it go. It kind of slows down. It's cool seeing all these people entered. Let's see.
Justice Fat Seagull.
Oh, that's great. Justice Fat Seagull, you're a winner. We're going to be doing more drawings like this. We just keep it real simple. You know how this works now. This is just an idea of how it works.
Yeah. So go to the contact page. Let me know that you want it, and then give me your address. Must be a U.S. address.
Now, also, if you didn't win and you like free stuff, just send a self-addressed stamped envelope to Film Threat, 5042 Wilshire Boulevard, PMB 1500, Los Angeles, California, 90036. I will send you a Film Threat bumper sticker if you send me a self-addressed stamped envelope. If you give me a lot of postage, I could send you a DVD. I could send you something else. Some surprises. So we thank you for that. I've been getting some great letters and packages. Thank you for your support. And there you go. Alan, you got to take off. Can you have time to take off for one more topic?
Yeah, real quick.
I was surprised by Dungeons and Dragons, Honor Among Thieves. Look, I first of all, I don't play Dungeons and Dragons. Never played. When I was a kid, I would have these friends of mine that like, come on, let's play Dungeons and Dragons. I'm like, why don't we just get sticks, pretend they're swords, and beat the crap out of each other? That was my thing. So, but I did have friends who played Dungeons and Dragons. I totally like, and now I'm being invited to Dungeons and Dragons like tournaments. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. I used to play Dungeons and Dragons early on, and then I became a Christian and got caught up in the whole demonic D&D hype. Got rid of all my stuff, but now I got a little wiser. But it was always fun, and I did see the trailer.
What do you think?
It's like a video game trailer. The fun of Dungeons and Dragons, the fun of video games is playing it, and rarely do you ever see it that kind of fun captured in a movie. So as a fantasy adventure, it looks pretty good, and I'll leave it at that. World of Warcraft, look at that movie. They didn't really capture the gameplay. They just told a story. And so we'll see. It could be great. for all I know.
Okay, I don't know what you could do with a Dungeons and Dragons movie.
Yeah.
From the trailer, what I get is they're all thieves. They're being
Mhm.
tasked with something. So in a way, it kind of feels like Ocean's 11.
Yeah,
In the
which is very Dungeons and Dragons in terms of gameplay.
Right. So it's like all these people with special sets of skills, trying to achieve a
Mhm.
goal. And can I just say, it looks kind of fun.
Yeah,
It looks kind of fun. And I love Chris Pine when he's allowed to be a manly man, as he was at least in the first Star Trek movie by J.J. Abrams, something of old school Kirk, but it looks fun. It looks the first half of the trailer looks like, okay, we've seen this before. This looks like this might as well be Rings of Power. That second half of the trailer just gets over the top weird, and it looks like a blast. So
yeah,
I'm actually convinced it's something that like is now like, oh, okay, this is I'm more excited about Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves than I am about Black Adam.
Well, it's definitely heading in the right direction in terms of potentially being a good movie, and that's a good thing.
Yeah. Well,
I do have to go.
You gotta go, Alan. Let's say goodbye. I want to say thank you to everybody today, everyone in the chat. Let's see if I missed any super chats. Oh wait, I have. I gotta do. Alan, you should go, and I'll wrap up the show.
Great. All right.
Have a great rest of your day.
All right.
Talk to you later, man. Cool. Thanks. I'm gonna wrap up the show here. I really wish I could have spent more time meeting all of you at San Diego Comic-Con. I ran into some people who said, "Hey, you're the guy from YouTube." Like, yes, they either know me from Film Courage or Film Threat or G4 or whatever. But in spite of the things, for me, it wasn't like the best Comic-Con I've been to. The mask thing was a little depressing for me, and it wasn't fully back. But look, this is sort of a transitional con. I feel like next year we'll be back in action. Let's get to these super chats here. Colt Seaman for 10 says, just got home. Oh, wait, I got that one. All right, let me see if I missed any. And if I did, we will get them. We'll get them on our Friday show. Justice Fat Siegel for 2. I'd like to thank the Academy for this honor. Yeah, send us that, and Alan will mail you your DVD. We're going to be doing more things like that. It's a lot of fun. I like to give things away. I've always I think it's from when I was a kid, I loved getting stuff for free. I just love getting stuff for free. It's weird. There was, I want to see if anyone else remembers this. Do you remember the Johnson Smith Company? Johnson Smith Company was this old company where you could buy all sorts of weird stuff. Okay. Just weird, crazy. It was a catalog. Okay. And it's they would sell things like whoopee cushions, and you could buy like a 6-foot Frankenstein poster. I'm looking up images now. You could buy one of those 6-foot cardboard submarines, but it was expensive, right? Okay, I can't find any, but look up the Johnson's. I love one of the things you could buy was, let's see if that doesn't, no, the images are not great here. You're gonna have to look them up on your own. But as a kid, one of the things that you could do is you could get on a list where you got tons of free stuff in the mail. And basically, all it was getting you on a list to get free stuff in the mail. And I did that because I just love coming home from school. Be like, my name is on a letter, and I've gotten a whoopee cushion in the mail. Awesome. New member, Paulie, Latino Slant. Thank you for that. That's great. We missed you there. I don't know. I just sorry, Paulie. I'll have to get you there. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to be wrapping up right now because I am sans Alan. I'm sans Flaccid Phoenix. But be with us Friday, 9 a.m. filmmaker interviews. We're going to be talking about DC's Legend of the Super Pets, BJ Novak's comedy Vengeance, and a couple of other indie movies that you haven't heard of that you must know about. We're going to take a deeper dive into Nope. It's going to be a lot of fun. Says Rajon Page is also in Dungeons and Dragons. He was that hottie from Bridgerton season 1. And Oblivion Zone says X-ray glasses. Yes, I bought some X-ray glasses. It's basically camel hair through a little hole, and you kind of hold up your hand and it looks kind of like your hand is a skeleton. And Ronin Blade, Bantha Tracks. I have a Bantha Tracks patch on my convention jacket that I wear at every convention, which I'm told by people who looked at my jacket, I look like a hobo at it. I look like I look like a zombie from Walking Dead, but it's just because my jacket's all ripped up and torn and whatever. Holy Hand Grenade says they have a website. They do. The Johnson Smith Company has a website. Let me check. They have an archive.org. They have a Facebook group. You can go to a website called doyouremember.com. And the Johnson Smith Company catalog. God, I'd love to buy one of those catalogs. I used to just read that catalog over and over as a kid. Loved it. But look, we're wrapping up the stream. San Diego Comic-Con was sea monkeys. Yes, I had sea monkeys. Then I found out that sea monkeys were basically brine shrimp. And I went to the pet store and I bought some brine shrimp. And some guy was like, "You're not buying these brine shrimp to keep as pets, are you?" Because the whole point was you feed brine shrimp to larger fish. I kept them as pets. They didn't live long. Yeah, but CD Stein 69 says D&D looked fun, no more, no less. As long as it's what we get, I'm good with it. Yep. And Holy Hand Graves was, no, I was replying to Tiberius in the chat. Haha. Yep. See, this is what happens when Flaccid Phoenix isn't here. When Flaccid Phoenix isn't here, I have no idea what's going on. Omar94 says, do you think Hollywood will implode at the rate it's going? Yes, I do. We're in a recession. That's 2 quarters of negative GDP growth. That's how I always heard it was defined. So we're in a recession, and the first thing that people are going to cut out of their budgets, entertainment. Doesn't mean they're not going to see the new Marvel movie. It just means they might wait and see it on Disney Plus if they have Disney Plus. But yes, sea monkeys are brine shrimp. And the Charles Atlas ads. Oh my God, I love those. So there you go. We're gonna leave it at that. They're changing the definitions of a lot of things these days. What's funny is the people doing that think we're stupid. We're not stupid. And all of this is being done in the open, which I love. I think that I think there could be some repercussions. I think there could be a little backlash. So there you go. I don't know about this. Hollywood will still double down on the woke, though. I don't think so, Brandon Clayton. Thank you for your comment. I think that what's going to happen is some brave media outlet is going to do a story and show profits from movies that include zero wokeness, show movies that include wokeness and what their previous box office was for maybe previous sequels, whatever. I think that someone needs to take a hard look at the numbers and say, is this making money? And my instinct tells me no. And Zach says, unsubscribe from Flaccid Phoenix and subscribe to me at you could look up Zax, that's ZAXX7. Don't unsubscribe from Flaccid Phoenix. You can have a lot of subscriptions. You can have a lot of, I'm subscribed to like over 200 channels, and I keep maybe 250 at this stage. There you go. And Tiberius says Daily Wire and Phil and Timcast are creating their own culture along with Ripaverse. This is the way, Film Threat. I agree. I think that, and we're doing some things as well. We've got 2 documentaries that'll be out next year. We've got other film projects I can't talk about that we're working on, including 2 animated shows. There's a lot. So a lot going on. CD Stein 69 for $4.99. I'm sorry, Alan's not here. Alan fell for the satanic panic. Friends and I were literally the kids from Stranger Things without the supernatural upside down or government labs. Yeah. And JC says, so let it be written, so let it be done. Taking us out, I think it's really important that we just show you some fun videos. I think you need to see some of these things here. Alan and I, at the end of the day, while we may disagree, we're still a dynamic duo.
I mean,
and for those of you that are new to the channel, we talk a lot about movies like RRR and movies that have subtitles, but that should come with a warning.
So cool up here in the balcony.
Totally. Hey, what's this about this movie being in another language?
Yeah, you have to read what they're saying.
Sounds pretty weird. I'm gonna go get some popcorn.
Okay.
Excuse me, sorry. You are precious flower.
Subtitles. They're not just un-American, they kill.
All right, and that's going to take us out. Thank you again for spending your afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world with us. Thank you. We'll be here back on Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific time. Please join us then. It's gonna be a lot of fun. And Comic-Con for what it was. I was at Comic-Con.